Kenny.
Brute, Torn.
We got a pretty good show lined up for y'all today. Some good topics. We just gonna go ahead and get straight into it. Start off with the weighing the pros and cons, considering. Well, do you actually weigh the pros and cons when you consider more than friendship with somebody?
I mean, you have to. So, is this a general question, or so you ask us, do we do it?
I'm asking y'all, is that something that
Have
y'all had done
Yeah.
prior to relationships, marriage, and all that? Do you advise people to still do that? Because some people are just more infatuated with how somebody looks rather than actually getting to know them, and that would be the main reason why they want to pursue them. And then once they start actually getting to know them, they're like, I don't really like this motherfucker. Like,
Because looks are definitely, if anybody says looks aren't part of it, they lying. But at the same time, you gotta weigh the pros and cons, either distance, different schedules, family issues or not. Just it's several things. I can just keep going, but you have to. Because if you just go off looks, then
but okay,
I mean you don't want to overthink it because some things do have to be left to chance. But at the same time, if you aren't prepared, then you basically set yourself up.
okay. Just say, for instance, you think about pursuing somebody, right? And you decide to put, just say a list together, the pros and cons of getting to know them, maybe pursuing something more than friendship. Just say you got 10 apiece, right?
Yeah.
What if you're not able to get 10 pros, but you can get 10 cons? Would you still consider that person?
I think it depends on what the cons are compared to the pros.
Literally was about to say the exact
Is there something that you can probably, I ain't gonna say change, but that you can probably get through or you know will probably change over time, then yeah. So, like with me personally, for me, that's something that I have done before, weigh the pros and the cons, because you gotta, I mean, shit, that's just something you gotta do. Because you could, like I said, you could like the way somebody look, but it might be something you don't like what they do. You're not gonna deal with it just because you like the way they look, unless you're just a damn idiot. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's something you gotta do.
Well, it's because it's something that I saw on, it was on YouTube, right? Because they were talking about the Ashanti and Nelly situation, and they were saying that Ashanti, as beautiful as she is, she's somebody that you can actually date because you could take her somewhere and you can guarantee, just say there's 15 guys in the room, you can guarantee that none of them have ever probably messed with her before. But you got some females where you can take them in the room or to a restaurant or something like that. It's 10, 15 guys right there, and 7 out of that 10 or 15 probably done got it. So they was like, do you consider that too? Not necessarily like somebody's past, because everybody has a past, I get it. But when it's a situation like that, to where every other place that y'all go, you run into somebody that has either dated your gal or fucked your gal. Like, how do you go about handling that situation?
Yeah, it's kind of hard because that shit really don't be happening. But if it did happen, that's something that you wouldn't want to happen.
And to go back to what you said about the pros and cons, if you have 10 and 10, but if lack of trust is on that con side, it really don't matter how many are on the positive, me at least. Because if trust is, if I get vibes that I can't really trust you early on, then shit don't matter what pop up on the positive side. Then everything just kind of null and void, but be second guessing and overthinking shit.
Yeah, I feel the same because in certain situations with somebody mentions this girl or whatever, 9 out of 10, I can just give you an example of the most common places this will happen, in, like if you're in college. Because 9 out of 10, if it's a girl that look good, at least probably maybe 5 people that you actually know probably try to get at her, and then maybe another few people that you know actually did get it with her, you know? So it's kind of hard to answer that question unless it's happened to you before. Because if it's a room of 15 people and there's 7 people messing with it, that's too many. Like where are you at for that to happen?
That's more so. That's what I'm saying. I'm not like
choose the places you go to wise there, I guess. Or don't be around
I'm
the
saying,
same
because
stuff.
just say, since we are in Katy, you dating a female from Katy, you go to a place in Katy, and really not necessarily 15 guys in the room, but just say, for instance, just say you go to the mall, say you go to Katy Mills, right? And every other dude you pass by knows your gal, but not knows her like, oh, we went to school together, we grew up together, but knows her like, I dated her, I smashed her. They wouldn't say that. They were just saying like, stuff like that can happen too. Because I mean, me personally, like I said, the past don't really affect anything if you're trying to build something for the future. But at the same time, you don't want to be looking like a fool, you know, if every place you go, you run into a guy or two that doesn't mess with your gal before.
Now, if it's like one or two, and then they're honest up front about it, that's a different scenario than cool, because, I mean, that's fair. But if it's, like you said, that the ratio start getting high, that's when you're like,
Cause I mean, I'm pretty sure that, you know, females wouldn't be comfortable either if they went somewhere and it was every other female and said something about them.
it definitely goes both ways.
Yeah, so it's like, cause I'm not trying to bash you, I feel like it's both ways. It's stuff like that can happen.
Yeah.
But, like you said, if they're upfront and honest about everything they had going on prior to you messing with them, you know, a lot of stuff can kind of be pushed aside,
Yeah.
brushed off and stuff like that. You don't really let it bother you.
Cause if you nitpick over everything somebody did at some point before, then you neglecting what could be done now and going forward.
Yeah, cause I mean, people.
You can't build on the past, you can build towards that
It
future.
is that people do change. I mean, even if they were a certain type of way in the past, people do change. So I mean, you can't hold people past against them in that.
Cause if they do it to you, you ain't gonna like it.
And
You definitely not.
I mean, that's just. So I think that for the most part, people do weigh the pros and cons. But like you said, even if the cons outweigh the pros, if those pros happen to be like great qualities and stuff like that, you can overlook a lot of those cons.
Yeah. Cause everybody's gonna have their flaws. If they say they don't, again, somebody fucking lying.
But that's another reason why I tell people, when you pursuing somebody, whether you're gonna be dating them or whatever, get to know that person. Don't ever rush into it, because when you rush into it, that's when you overlook a lot of stuff that may come up down the line.
Yeah.
She might end up not liking something that you do. You might not like something that she does.
Yeah.
So that could cause issues. So that's what I'm
By
saying.
rushing, it may be something that's already right here. You just
Yeah, you're just overlooking it because you like the way she does or something like that. So, yeah, go ahead. I'm not saying necessarily really make a list, but I'm saying like kind of do a little bit more than just, oh, she fine, I gotta go get it.
Yeah, she may be fine, have a personality to fucking door knocks, but
Yeah, that's another thing too. You gotta be able to have a conversation with somebody, get along with somebody, vibe with somebody. If you just messing with somebody just because of the way they look, then yeah, I hate to say it, that's pretty shallow.
let's go get one hollow.
There's people that do that though.
Yeah, you got people that do that. And yeah, she bad. So I'ma just mess with her. Even like he said, she might not have no personality. She may not bring nothing to the table like at all. It's just the way she look. The same thing goes for dudes. A female might find a dude attractive. He might only just be a good looking dude, but he has nothing going for himself. You know, have no job. He has nothing. It's just that's how it goes.
Yeah, I forgot where I heard it too, kind of like weighing those pros and cons, you don't get to know them. I forgot who said it, but I keep hearing it pop up, you gotta date them daily, that we learn about them, and then like date them every day. And it didn't make sense right away until you like, damn, that makes a lot of sense. Like deep conversations, dinners throughout the week, just kind of, not just waiting for a date once or twice a week or every other week. Dating and learning them every day. And shit, learning yourself will help you learn somebody else. Well, I have to figure that shit out too.
That's why sometimes I feel like you shouldn't try to rush into certain situations, especially if you just got out of a relationship, situation, whatever you was doing. If you know for a fact that you messed up what you had going, that's when you're supposed to take a step back and, you know, evaluate yourself.
Yeah.
Don't try to point the finger at somebody else. Like, oh, it's their fault, this didn't work out. Nah, look at the stuff that you did too and take accountability, man.
That word you said right there, boy, that can make or break something.
Since we were talking about dates, going on to the next topic. Are expensive dates necessary?
No.
No.
I used to think that all the time. I was like, man, should we?
And don't y'all be tripping because we said no that quick. It doesn't mean that we will not, spend or go the extra miles. It's not necessary, especially early on when y'all just building.
My wife told me
that's a
red
red
flag.
flag.
So that's why I got to answer. She said that's not necessary. So
No.
cause I always thought it was. Like, man, women be lying. Yeah, you do. You do.
You got some that really
Man, the pizza movie actually clutch.
But what do you consider expensive as far as a date goes? Like what exactly, once it reaches a certain price point, becomes expensive?
It depends on who you got with you. Like if it's just you and the woman,
Yeah, just you and one.
shit, I feel like it depends on where you go to.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, just typical.
Or depending on what you're doing, like, you know, somebody just eating.
Just say first date situation, right? You don't necessarily want to do the dinner and movie thing. You want to kind of be a little bit different. Just say you take her somewhere. I don't want to sound corny or nothing like that, but just say you go to like fucking Dave and Buster's or some shit, right?
Yeah.
You don't eat there though. You just play games there. Then you go eat somewhere else. Maybe you go to a little club and dance or something like that, or listen to music afterwards and stuff like that. At what point do you realize that it's expensive?
Shit, once you go past about 250 or something like that.
No,
'Cause you got
250. For the first day, I ain't gonna lie to you, we didn't go nowhere near 250.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about what he said, Dave Buster's, I'm thinking about how much it costs, and then go somewhere to eat, and then go somewhere else after that. Cause you
Then
got to
plus
gas too.
you at 50 just to get cars off top. That's before you eat dinner.
Yeah, so I'm saying if you hit that, once you see us going towards that $200 mark on the first date, and you don't get too expensive, that means it's too expensive. If you wasn't trying to spend it with money.
What about instead of doing like Dave and Buster's, just say you just going to get some eat, but you're going to a place that's so-called on the higher end.
I say if you're doing something like that, let's share for at least 100 off top, at least.
Yeah, cause the food alone, with 2 meals, shit, I'm looking at like $30-something. That's about $70-something before taxes. Was drinks $15.
You know, drinks gonna be separate.
So,
You were looking at least 100 right there off top.
Yeah, at a decent place.
But you more than likely gonna go over.
yeah, you'll go over 100.
Now, if it's like an anniversary dinner, or, you know, y'all been together for some months
Nah,
to
I'm
years.
talking about first date.
Oh, first
it's
date.
different when you in a relationship. It's different. When you married, it's different. But I'm talking about like you just started dating somebody, and y'all first getting on that type of level. Like what is considered like expensive? Not saying too much, but like expensive.
Another thing that would depend on is the person, what kind of lifestyle you live in, and how, if they can afford it or not. You know what I'm saying? If somebody has balling and shit, I mean, $300 might not be expensive for a first date. To me, it is. Like for a very first date.
First date, yeah, that's up there.
And also too, kind of like how we had just mentioned too, learning from people, you may learn and kind of get their vibes off top. Like, all right, she know let's do all this, but this will be more than enough just by the thought. So you might learn that budget beforehand without even just asking about it.
I would probably, for me personally, I would probably say first date, maybe 200, 250 is probably the max.
Yeah. And also depends, man, it's so many variables. It depends on the female's personality too. If they real independent, they low key may appreciate your gesture, but they want to pay for it. And that can change too.
I mean,
Cause we was all brought up saying we brought, you know, take care of her, but at the same time she was like, nah.
I mean, you got some females that do that, you know.
And I had adjusted that. That was a positive adjustment, but I
I would
was
say
like,
they'll pay for something.
Yeah,
You know, you got
at
some
least
that do
offer.
that, and then you got some that don't even. Yeah, they just want you to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, it depends on the lifestyle. Cause you got some people that they don't go to expensive restaurants. They would be cool just going somewhere simple, you know, Buffalo Wild Wings or some shit. They cool with something like that.
Yeah.
You got some, like now you gotta go to motherfucking Perry Steakhouse or something, and you know, Ropar over there in La Centera.
Yeah.
It's a decent place, but I ain't gonna lie, it's expensive. I ain't gonna lie to you. But you know, stuff like that. You got some dudes that think that even if a female don't necessarily like it, you got some dudes that think that if I take her to the most expensive spot or whatever, I spend the most money on her, I'm a giver.
And then you gonna be pissed off, you don't
You gonna be mad when you broke it upset.
Shit.
Cause she might, like I said, she might be on something simple and you trying to overdo it and stuff like that. That's another reason why I tell dudes ask questions, you know, take the time to see what people's like and interest are. Because you could be really setting yourself up for failure, you know, trying to do too much to impress her and she not even really with that.
Yeah.
So,
It may come off as irresponsible if you just looking at that number too. Like, dang, what if I'm dating you? He just thinking it's money or he wanna see.
exactly. Cause that could create a certain mindset with the guy.
That could be the bitch later on down the road when money come up. 'Cause it will come up at some point.
Yeah, I just feel like y'all, I agree with y'all. I don't think it is necessary, but it's different depending on the status of the relationship and also what the occasion is.
It's like a few-
Anniversaries,
it's a few
birthdays,
things.
stuff like that. Yeah, you supposed to come to bread in those occasions, Valentine's Day, stuff like that.
Yeah. And at that point, it's not always a prayer too. They'll appreciate a home cooked meal even more.
Yeah, that's what I'm
See,
saying.
a perfect example. Shit, I'm human. I ain't the best chef. Shit, I smoked out the kitchen for the first 20 minutes, but after we got situated, man, she enjoyed the hell out of it. And that's something straight from the kitchen. But didn't even spend that much on the food. Cooked it myself. She enjoyed it.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah. It ain't about the money, it's what the effort behind it, if it's coming from the right place, then the money ain't gonna matter.
You gotta be genuine.
The money shouldn't matter, excuse me. Shouldn't matter.
As long as it's genuine, man, some people just appreciate that. You gotta
That's
feel
it.
that, they know it's on board.
Yeah.
And you see why a lot of those people that bought all that, they usually be the ones that's sending and complaining about not being able to find nobody.
Yeah.
Kind of going off of the whole friends thing. It's something that I was talking to some people that work about.
Mm-hmm.
Can friends with benefits remain friends with benefits?
I really think it depends on people, man, and the maturity of it. It's, I'll put it like this. This is not my experience, by the way. This is just what I think. Like some younger people, it wouldn't work. You know what I'm saying? One of them will want to be with the person eventually. People that know what they want and they know that's exactly what they want to do for that time being, it can work for them. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta know that's what you want to do for it to work. If not, you will end up looking stupid because you'll catch feelings for somebody and they probably don't, they thought it was friends with benefits, and then one person looking the other way, and then it's just it ain't working. You know what I'm saying?
Because I know I'm actually speaking from experience. Tried it before, it did not work out. It would now. This is I know I was talking about not playing the blame game.
Mhm.
This right here was not my fault because it was discussed prior to anything happening what the situation was, and that person ended up catching feelings to a point where it was like, just say for instance, if we was friends with benefits for 4 or 5 months, right?
Mhm.
And after that 4 or 5 months, I decided to talk to somebody else, and me and that other person ends up in a relationship. Like that right there could mess a lot of stuff up because if she catching feelings, cause you got some dudes that's gonna ignore it. I didn't ignore the feelings and stuff like that. It was just that I felt like it was bad timing. Not because I started messing with somebody else, it's because at that point in time, I did not want a relationship. Because prior to me meeting this female, I just got out of a relationship. So it's like, I didn't want to go from relationship to relationship.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to take my time, because it was a while before I even met her. It was like maybe like 2 or 3 months before I even met her after I got out of a relationship,
Yeah.
before anything happened. But it's just that she caught feelings, and it kind of led to some bad situations.
Because they can remain friends, but down the road at some point, it seems like it's a dead end on that. It may not be a year, maybe 6 months, maybe just overall bad situation on that, and a waste of time. I mean, shit, time ain't guaranteed, so I'm not gonna waste my time on something that have any long-term goals.
Yeah.
And that's something that I made crystal clear early on. So,
Also in that situation,
that could hurt a lot more than just the 2 friends with benefits involved, because everybody got their, and that could be a whole clusterfuck too. Just overall bad situation.
it's just the fact that I feel like it had like once everything is clear, then whatever you decide to do down the line, you need to make that clear too, just in case you be like, hey, I don't think we should continue doing this, or instead of us doing this, why don't we actually like go out on a date or something like that, just see what happens type shit. Because sometimes that person that you friends with benefits with might be the one that you actually need.
Yeah, that's why I was saying depending on the person, because the level of maturity, man, depending on how somebody take the situation. Because like I said, like you just said, you start talking to somebody else, that person, you can't get mad, this is what you wanted, this is what you said.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets messed up if the expectations not clear, you know? So
That's all about communication and stuff like that. And you got some people that mess the situation up because they don't communicate enough.
yeah.
Like you say, this is what you want, but really you want a relationship. You just don't want it with that person.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you let that person know, just in case, like, okay, if you start talking to somebody else, I'm not gonna get mad if I start talking to somebody else. You can't get mad, but I really don't think that me and you will work out in that way.
Yeah.
They could easily cut it off and be like, okay, well, we need to stop this period. And you got some people who just want to hold on with the hopes of maybe I can switch to change their mind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I kind of think it could be a bad situation regardless. Like you said, eventually down the line.
A lot more cons than anything.
Exactly. You got some people, like you were talking about, the maturity factor goes into it. Because it's not, dudes do the same thing, bro. Like if you messing with a female or whatever, and you just say you out, y'all talk to somebody else, right? And say you go out and you happen to see her with that other dude. You mean to tell me you're not gonna feel some type of way? Even if y'all just friends with benefits, you're not gonna feel some type of way?
See, somebody probably would.
Yeah. So that's why sometimes it's best just not to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, some people can do it and then be completely fine with doing that if they at a certain point in their life. You got some people that really want something more, but they just not really putting in the effort to do that. They just hoping it falls in their lap.
Yeah, because even if you make it clear right up front, man, you can say this and that, but life don't work that way. So what you said, depending on different events, can be flipped and changed. Your response can be different 2 months, 2 weeks from this point. So it don't really matter what you say, it's just that can change.
Like when you talk the college thing, that was more so something that you could get away with, like in that era.
Yeah.
Like in the college life, because nobody really want to be tied. Some people don't want to be tied down.
Yeah, yeah.
In college stuff like that. Now, when you not in college, you an actual adult, you in the real life working world stuff like that. You can't be doing stuff like that. That's when you're supposed to be starting making a little bit better decisions and stuff.
Considering others' thoughts and feelings and situations as well.
Yeah, because I mean, you got some people who think that's cool, messing with multiple people at one time. Like, nah, that's how you get caught up.
It is.
And the other stuff can happen too in that type of situation. So, I mean, I think they can remain friends with benefits, but they also can end up hating each other down the line too.
And we could definitely engage in the comments on that, but we definitely want to hear different viewpoints, because I know should be some good stuff out there. So, and like you said earlier too, it's not that men do it or just women do it. Both sides be fucking up, but I mean, it's just conversation, and we definitely want to hear y'all's ideas on that.
So, kind of piggybacking off of the whole friends with benefits thing, kind of friends, but going in a different direction with this one. What gives you or gave you the confidence to shoot your shot with your significant other?
I ain't shoot mine.
Yeah, I didn't either, because what she told me a few months down, like, I think on the 11th would be 6 months, but a couple months in, she was like, I knew it. I saw you and I knew I wanted you. I'm not used to that. She said that, I was like, man, you bullshit. Like, she shot her shot. Yeah, that shit blindsided the hell out of me.
Started
I'm like, nah. Nah. But yeah, I didn't shoot the shot. I mean, I low key did, like, we had known each other before, but she actually, like, shot the shot. And I was like, all right. So that had me through me for a loop.
Yeah, I ain't shoot shot.
Not that I wouldn't, but shit.
So I have shot the shots before, and the stuff that gave me confidence to do, I was like, man, fuck it. You know, what's gonna happen?
Two
Say
big words can get you in trouble too.
Like, they say no, they say yeah, no. So I was like, okay,
Because my first shot before we started dating was like that Carlton bank shot. She came in with the curry and hit me with all that. All right.
It's 'cause
That's literally how it happened.
what altered my mindset with shooting my shot. You remember we went to that pool party in Chancellor's, me, you, and Bud. It was a female there, right? We was getting ready to leave. She was walking in front of us. Bad little brown skinned chick or whatever. So I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna go get this real quick. So she walking, but I'm trying to get her attention, but I'm doing it in a stupid way. It was my fault. But she saw me doing the dumb shit. She turned around and she lit my ass up. Like, you know, it's sad because you actually cute, and if you'd have came to be correct, you probably could have got it. She said, but you need to grow up. And then she turned around and walked off. And I'm like, damn, I couldn't say nothing back. I'm like, but that kind of situation right there kind of lowered my confidence a little bit as far as shooting my shot. Even though I went in a wrong way, it was kind of like, okay, so what should I do?
I mean, but that's probably a situation you can learn from, or have learned from it too, though.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really start getting confidence to actually shoot my shot until probably maybe when we went to PV. Before that, I didn't really shoot my shot like that. Like he was saying, like we used to go to the club in Tyler. It used to be females out there that just, oh, you play football? Like, yeah. And that was it. That was it. But you know, PV was different. I mean, it was beautiful women everywhere, and you kind of didn't know how to approach some of them females because some of them carried themselves a certain way, and even like some of them was on their grown woman shit. So you couldn't come at them like a little boy.
Yeah.
And then you got some that was a little bit more immature. You could come at them with dumb shit, but it's like how do you gauge the situation to actually shoot your shot?
Yeah.
And that was in college. Now it's different when you're a grown man. It's either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. There should be no excuses and all that. I mean, everybody, you don't make every shot that you're gonna shoot. I mean, sometimes you just need to. I know people, some are afraid of rejection, but it's part of life. It happens.
You gotta take that chance. And kind of what you said about that confidence, once they see that confidence in yourself, not just that shooting shot, because I learned this too in this one. Once they see that confidence in you, that's like shooting a shot without you even thinking about it. They see how you carry yourself. He confident in himself. He blah 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 this and that. That's a shot right there that you ain't even.
See, it's just that like most females think that because I'm more soft spoken that I'm shy, so they think that I'm nervous and I'm scared and stuff like that. But I'm just gonna be real with the women out there. I don't be nervous. I just like to actually like gauge the situation and stuff like that. Kind of see how should I approach this female right here. Kind of pick up on some of her habits and stuff like that before I actually do it. Because you might come at them the wrong way, even though it's normally how you do it and stuff like that. So that's why I'm trying to tell people, I'm not shy, I'm not scared, I don't be nervous. I just try to make sure that my approach is correct before I actually do anything. So that's why sometimes it might take me a minute to actually say something, and that's only because I want to make sure I'm saying stuff the correct way. And some people are like, oh, you just kill all the people. Hey, no, it ain't that. It's
You gotta plan it out, you know what I'm saying? You can't just walk up saying anything. Well, you can.
But, you know,
Consequences, good or bad.
I used to do that all the time. I used to walk up to people and just say whatever. And it either worked or it didn't work. Sometimes, especially if I said something stupid and they started laughing, I'm like, yeah, I got it. But you got some females that look at you like you're crazy if you say something stupid to them. So that's what I'm saying. You gotta make sure that your approach is correct. And it's all right to ask people for advice too. Don't ever think that you can't go to your partner or whatever and ask for advice about approaching a female or something like that.
But also on that too, be careful who you go to with that information as well.
Yeah.
Some people just ain't shit. But
Because you know, you got some people that be like,
they may take what you said and you may have it from the right place. They may take that and twist it up, and man, that could be a whole different mess. So just I'd be very careful on that too.
or like they don't even really pay attention to that female that you think about shooting your shot, and then they decide to do it because you taking a little minute.
Yep.
And that's how altercations happen. Because you know, there's some people that really do be like, oh, you scared to go do it? Don't worry about it.
But man, that's crazy. And then you may think they just over understand. Next thing you know, man, you see them somewhere or hear about it.
And then the female, she won't even know. She won't know nothing unless you happen to bring it up one day when you talk to her or something like that. But there is a lot of dudes out there that try to backdoor you and go with a female that you trying to get at.
It's crazy to backdoor into. Remember we mentioned that trust. It's that sort of trust level to where it's like I see it, and it's from people I know too. Like even with them seeing as happy as we both are, look, when I say some ain't shit, I see it. Like they can know y'all are happy and still be, yeah.
I mean, that's why sometimes it's a little bit different once you actually start dating.
Yeah.
But like when you first try to approach somebody, sometimes it's best to not to kind of keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there's some dudes that as soon as they figure out that you're talking to this person or that person, they try to plot.
Yeah.
And that's like no bullshit. That's what happened when I was I don't want to say nobody's names, but it was a female not too long ago that when she first popped on the scene, nobody noticed her. And as soon as I started having conversations with her, getting to know her and stuff like that, they said, no, all these dudes coming from nowhere trying to shoot their shot. And I couldn't
Grammar question and all that
stuff
shit.
like that, like weird shit. It's like, how do you find somebody that you never talked to ever on Facebook and send them a request?
Like stalking.
Yeah.
It's real.
Like that shit, to me, that shit is weird.
Very.
And like if you pop up on they IG or something like that, and y'all don't have no mutual followers, that's weird as fuck too. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of that stuff was happening, and then she was saying that there was no need to react to it. You kind of overreact and stuff. You're overthinking. It's like no, it's because I'm not worried about somebody trying to shoot their shot. It's just the fact that they wasn't worried about doing it until they heard about me in this situation.
Shit happen all the time, man.
No, and it's gonna happen. And I used to almost want to react to it every time, but now it's funny. But try to focus on what you can control.
It's just like
You can't control the actions of others, so that's like wasting time and energy on that. And neither one of them is guaranteed, so I ain't gonna waste it.
not only that, but you also got people that when they find out, they might not necessarily try to backdoor you, but they like to bring up old shit or unnecessary shit around that female.
Just to, man,
Just
you hit
to
the
kinda-
nail on the head, boy.
That's all it is.
For
It's like-
what though? So I never understood
And
it.
then, this is my thing with that. You hate for what, and then like that's gonna help you out. You know what I'm saying? That may not help you. Well, it should help you out. And you doing something like that, like come on, dog. Like that's just. But you got people that do stupid shit like that.
Just because.
You like, oh shit, let me go ahead and mess it up and see what I can do with that.
That's how they get messed up. They want to mess each other. That's how they get. Cause I mean, it's just like once again, I'm not saying no names. It's another female that I'm kind of interested in, right? And I've been kind of figuring out how to approach that one. And I ain't told nobody anything like that, but there's some people that bring it up around others, and then I see how those others are acting around that person now. Because like, oh, Quinn trying to get out of it? Okay, let me see if I can beat him to the punch. That's how you get punched. That's what I'm saying. Like, because I don't do all that. Like, I feel like that's childish, man. It's like you wasn't worried about this particular person until you found out that I was interested in this person. So it's like, why does that always happen? Like,
And you mentioned the punching, bro. I didn't want to, but and Cheat Check doing it too. Once I found out the trust was where it was, the attitude went away. But there's still times where it's like, I do be one that urge is there. Yeah. I'm very much human. But then that goes back to thinking about pros and cons and consequences. Where would this get me after I do this dumb shit? Probably do stuff and do some other shit in the meantime.
you got a real female that's gonna ride for you and stuff like that, and you do trust it, then you ain't got no worries.
Yeah, but sometimes that even with that, you may not be used to it, and you still that's an adjustment too, though. A welcome adjustment, but definitely something you.
That's why I ain't really said too much. It's certain people bring up certain situations. It's like past situation me involved in front of this situation that I'm working on. Kind of messes stuff up. Only because people do a little too much talking. I be trying to tell people like, man, I don't need no lectures about this and that. I figure it out on my own. Or if I do need to talk to somebody, I'll talk to somebody that I know will understand, or at least give me some real guidance.
Yeah.
Just because you're older than me don't necessarily mean that you know what the fuck you're talking about. So
That's definitely another case.
that's what I mean. I brush it off half the time. It is what it is. But let's move to another direction, right?
Okay.
If you had to think, what is the worst movie of all time?
I already got one right off the top of this. We watched that shit in the film room. You already know what I'm talking about.
I was thinking that too, but like I can't say that.
No, I don't care. I'm gonna say it. Facing the Giants was quite possibly one of the worst films ever made. I know why it was made, but when I saw that dude get that interception and keep running in that same direction, that shit was fake, man. I get it, and I really want to understand it, but that shit had me fucking crying. Man. I missed the whole point of that movie, man. That's up there. That's definitely the top 5 worst films ever seen. Easily.
Motherfucking A lot of people don't even know this movie. It's a movie, old movie called Axel.
Axel?
Axel.
Like a horror film?
That shit don't count.
No, that's hands down the worst fucking movie in
I don't know if
history.
I heard.
Bruh,
I kind of want to go look up and watch that shit.
dude, it's a YouTube channel that did a movie review on it. It was hands down the word, the audio, the recording.
Was it the one they sent like clips of, like people getting murked, but it looks stupid? Or I think you sent the clips of it before.
The one clip I sent, it was a dude, he was like yelling, but you couldn't hear shit he was saying. And then he turned around and he like screamed, and like his glasses was going
You did send
Yeah,
that shit.
that one.
Okay, I'm definitely not watching that shit because I remember now.
And as soon as I was like, man, let me see if I can actually find this movie. I found it and I tried to watch it. Fucking horrible.
The after movies be bad too though.
Well, I think they do that on purpose.
Nah, I don't know.
See,
I don't be terrible.
Cause I was gonna say Faithful Giants, but man, that's a religious movie.
I don't care. It's up there.
I'm gonna have to go with that one or damn, what other movie was that? I'm gonna use a cinematic commercial movie that I feel like it was terrible to me. Probably one of the worst movies, but it's one of the worst ones that I've seen. Superfly.
The one with Trevor
Yeah,
Jackson.
you really watch the movie? The
I
Superfly.
watched
some.
I was bored, and so I watched it.
You should have known it was gonna be bad anyway. Look who the fuck they had playing Superfly.
Then he had Perm and shit.
Yeah, like,
I couldn't get over the murder. Like I was extremely bored watching it, by the way. So it wasn't necessarily my choice. It was more of a I got stuck watching.
Cause I can get on the Tubi movies, but I ain't even, see you see a clip of me, you don't watch it, so I can't even speak on it. You know?
I refuse. Based on the clips and reels I've seen of Tubi alone, I refuse to watch anything on Tubi. Period.
It was
the delayed reactions, the guns, everything.
It was a Tubi movie. I was asleep. I woke up and this movie was on.
Nah, you had that shit in your watch list.
Nah, man. It was a fucking okay. It was a female who pulled out a gun on a dude. This dude pulled out a Desert Eagle, right?
So niggas just walk around with Desert Eagle.
And she pulled out a 380. I'm like, what is you gonna do? If he
hits you
what
one time,
happened?
that's it.
So, but they tried to make it seem like she had the same gun. Like a couple scenes later, she pulled out, and it was a bigger gun. It was a 9. It went from a 380 to a 9, but it's supposedly the same gun. He pulls out the Desert Eagle again. And when she shoots it, it literally looks like computer generated fire just popped up. Dude got supposedly hit like 3 times. Then when they showed him, no bullet holes, no blood, nothing. He just on the ground. And thing is, she gave the gun to her partner. Her partner went over there and shot him too, which is overkill. They try to do self-defense, but it's like y'all shot this man 6
I
times.
can tell how close you did.
But this is what you know how when movies when they try to wipe prints off, they usually wipe the handle and the trigger.
Yeah.
She was wiping down the barrel of the gun.
So
She
unless she's shooting the damn handgun like this,
She didn't wipe down the trigger or the fucking grip. She just wiped down the
she
barrel.
most definitely got caught.
I was like, no, but they called the cops and they tried to say it was self-defense. But it's like you clearly had your gun out first, and then he pulled his gun out, and you shot that man.
That's terrible.
It was the whole. I only saw probably like 30 minutes of the movie. It was one of the worst movies ever.
My second one would have been that I don't know the title of it, but it's been floating around. It's that one where they had that African movie and they were shooting. It was like kind of like a fake Matrix movie. You've seen the clip. You know which one I'm talking about. Where the bullet was flying and this was like curving across the screen. He's like, I need to find it.
That damn Marcus Houston movie.
Which one?
What is it? Stepmom or some shit?
Oh, Stepmother, yeah.
Yeah, man.
That was terrible too. That was the
First
acting.
you said a movie with that nigga, and I don't remember him being in no damn movie.
The overall, that's what
Directed
directed
movies and shit. What we be doing?
It'd be Chris Stokes. Whoever is funding his shit, stop giving that man money to make movies. All his movies be the same. He had the same people in every movie.
I'm tired of
And then he be using clips from other movies. It's because the movie he made with Marcus Houston again, with the girl that was on Power or whatever. I don't know her actual name. She like a singer or something.
Tasha?
I don't remember her name on Power. I know she was on Power before. She was a singer on there. Her and Marcus Houston supposed to be best friends or whatever. Supposedly went to college together. It's like, how would they portray them going to college together? He clearly looks like he's 25 years older than her. I'm like, come on, man. And that movie, that's the one I posted that on my TikTok. It had literally a clip from the movie Blue Streak in that movie.
How you gonna do that?
You can see Martin going crazy and shit. And it's like,
You can't do that shit, dog. That shit got me on you.
they definitely did it, and the acting on there was terrible. It's like, bro, who writes the scripts? And then who picks the casting? Because nobody could act. it's like you can tell. It's like they forgetting lines and they like struggling to put it together.
Yeah, their budget can't afford it.
What was
man.
that one Tubi movie where they was in that hospital? He must have slapped that dude. He spun around about 3 or 4 times.
Nah, that wasn't.
You know, it wasn't too. You know,
Nah, I
what
was talking about. That was like a Tyler Perry show.
Yeah, Tyler Perry got a few. That's gonna be on the list too.
Yeah, but Tubi is making a lot of stuff look bad.
It's like, I get that it's free, but why?
What's the other movie? That nigga Jerome from the game, he had that fucking flat top wig.
Man, what is it?
Which one was Jerome?
The big small hand nigga.
Oh, Glory Road.
Yeah.
He had a flat top.
Yes, man. The flat top wig.
No, you talking about wigs? What about the other Marcus Houston movie? We have the fucking fake braids and shit.
Man.
And you can tell it's a wig. It's like, bro, there's no, you can see no fake skin or nothing. It's just like braids and then black. You can tell it's fake.
Like fucking Halloween hair on this shit.
No, it looked horrible. It's like, why do you keep putting Marcus Houston in all these movies and they are fucking horrible?
Another one, Tales from which one was it? Is it Tales from the Crypt? Yeah, that shit's definitely up there. 'Cause the older you get, the worse that fucking movie gets. If you really look at it,
You talking Tales from the Hood?
which one was it where he was in that mortuary?
Tales
Tales from the Hood.
Okay, I had it mixed up.
Oh,
Either way,
especially
that movie gets worse the older you
the
get.
story with the I think he like a congressman or something like that,
And
and
the
the dogs was
people
doing
and
that.
shit.
Like how do you lose to a dog? It don't matter if the dog is possessed or not. It's a fucking dog.
Dog.
He
Fucking his ass
slapped
up, man.
and tipped that hill.
But the first time I see a possessed dog, I'm getting out of the house.
Right.
Why would you?
But at the
stay
same time, they did teleport. Some of them did teleport though.
There's a lot of them. You trying to get that focus
Yeah, that's towards the
on?
end of the line, but he still could have left the house. Is what I'm saying, and never came
Nah,
back.
that wasn't shot. He could have
Well,
moved.
I would have left that one, and then the scene with
No, when he turned into that devil,
when people was getting folded up with the paper and shit.
folded up, man. See, which movies you talking about?
It's Tales from the Hood.
Bruh, go.
The teacher or some shit?
No, it was fucking dude. The light skinned dude from Sprung was the teacher,
Oh.
and
They were girls stepdaddy or some shit?
yeah, he was the stepdaddy to the boy from Soul.
So you think it should have sprung in?
No, the worst part of the movie is when that nigga turned into that devil. That shit looked super fucking
Yeah,
fake, man.
But no, you got that right.
Well,
That
so
particular
that
story.
Yeah, he talking shit. That nigga was extra excited. He kept saying the same
He
shit.
was sweating the whole time, man.
Nigga with no AC in his bitch.
I'm telling you, that no, you talk the dog or the fucking the one with David Allen Greer was probably the funniest one, only because him cussing and then the fact that he was beating up Paula J. Parker and act like it was normal. Oh, Buddy ran back in the house like he gonna say to me, he got his ass whooped. Then the boy Ma, he got punched too and shit. He bust out folding that paper up.
Man.
That movie's definitely up there.
Then he set his ass on fire.
Set him on fire and shit like that movie right there and fucking damn, it's something else. Hot Boys. I don't care what nobody say. Hot
Man,
Boys
that shit
is
was
one of the
hard.
worst movies ever.
Nah, that shit was terrible though. Cause the movie took a turn and like didn't make
Yeah,
sense.
it didn't make sense.
You can say that about the last 2 or 3 Fast and Furious movies.
Man, I ain't watched.
I ain't
I
seen
really
it.
have not watched the Fast and
Yeah,
Furious
remember
movies since Tokyo Drift.
Okay, good, because there was one of them where they went, where Tyrese and Luda went into space in some old ass car, drove, flew through a satellite, shit started exploding. How did niggas make it back though to Earth?
See, I didn't see that.
Yeah, exactly. And they said this next one's even worse. But like that chase out that plane where Hans' girl was out flying out the shit. That ain't funny, but she flew into that dark because he knew that was it. But how long was that chase? It was in the whole. I know it was every bit of 150 or faster. That chase lasted about 20 minutes. Ain't no real way to work no more.
Man, motherfucker.
None.
What other movie am I thinking about?
And I love the series, but they did too much the past 3 or 4. Man.
I'm saying the
Tanks
remake.
and shit.
The remake of House Party was another movie.
I heard this shit, man.
I didn't see it.
That was horrible. It did not make any sense. The story was just all over the place, and it's like, what was the main plot? And then it was like him becoming a producer and a famous producer or whatever. If you'd have heard the beast, this motherfucker was making, I'm like, oh my god, man, that right there was terrible.
See, that goes back to, I know the previous episode we talked about movies and remakes. that's one of the movies that should just be left alone from the get-go.
Yeah, that, and then that White Man Can't Jump. I haven't seen it yet, but everybody's talking the White Man Can't Jump movie.
Consistently bad for you with that too.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I might just watch it just to see how bad it is.
I tried to watch it, but I fell asleep.
Like, how you gonna why remake that? Like, why?
The shit wasn't even close. Like, even the beginning of the movie wasn't even near close to the original.
The funniest part of me was when that nigga was like kind of laughing, but about fucking people up at that park. That nigga was getting mad. That's the best part to me. Until I got none.
So these still talking movies. Most overrated movie of all time.
Shit.
Man, I really can't say.
That's tough. Cause either
It have to be like some kind of, I would say like a Rocky or a Star Wars type shit, something like that.
I can't say right. That's the timeless. Like
I know what I'm saying. Like it have to be. I'll have to put it in like category like that, where a movie that's overrated. That's what I was talking about. Because I can't think of one single movie that I don't think is overrated. I can't think of.
I heard some people say Forrest Gump.
Nah, Forrest Gump is not. Forrest Gump, it's a comedy, but it's not story.
Man. It's a story.
It's stories inside of the story.
Some people say Friday is overrated.
The
original Friday.
You can't.
It's a hood classic, but I can see where they coming from. Cause if that shit came out today, like
the
it should be garbage.
Hey, so no, but you gotta look at the replay value of Friday. Dog.
Yeah,
we still watching that
you can
movie 80 times, decades later. Though.
I got a movie, but it's not necessarily like worldwide, like loved and stuff like that. But in a certain community, people love it. I would say You Got Served is probably one of the most overrated movies. Because that's another movie that did not make any sense. Another Marcus Houston movie, it was like
So with Steve Harvey too.
that. Cause a lot of people saying like, why the fuck was he in the movie?
He was the judge
I
battle.
still seen that.
battle man.
But it was like back then, why was it such a big deal to make dance battle movies? Like what the fuck? Like
That was the how
People kept recycling the same movie and shit.
same movie. It's just like if you watch the not You Got Served, the Stump the Yard movies.
Same shit.
The original, low key, you rewatch it now, that shit is ass.
Yeah, it is.
And then when they did the sequel, they tried to do the same story. They really tried to do the same story with different characters, and it didn't make any
That shit was
sense.
stupid. Like,
Yeah,
we all gotta get suspended and shit.
and
Come
they come back
back.
on step show.
Just like they got it from Drumline. That's the Drumline. The whole thing from Drumline. Let's just make it about fraternities instead. Yep.
Then the dude that played the main character on the Stump the Yard too, I don't know who cut his fucking hair before that movie. Man, his edge was crooked, the fade, he had a chili bowl on one side, ball fade on the other side,
Man, come on,
taper
man.
in the back. And like I said, his edge was crooked. And then the mother, y'all should have blurred his face out. He was one of the
How you gonna blur somebody's face out in a movie though,
man,
man?
dude, that he was. I'm telling you, I don't know who he. I didn't
So
see.
how you have a regular movie, but his
It was
face
like a damn, like his face was still low.
It's like okay. You remember how back in the day when Banner was like one of the first guys to let you do face scans.
Yeah.
That's what he
No,
looks
when
like.
they said his face still low, now how you gonna
But that's what he looks like. Like he tried to do a face scan, and it's pixelating to get it correct, but it hasn't finished yet. That's what that really look like.
Man, hell, I can't. I wouldn't
Hey, go watch this shit.
Go watch Stump the Yard too.
I'm not watching this shit. I barely got the.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna make his face the thumbnail of this video.
I'm gonna report this shit as soon as I see that shit.
But another thing that made that movie so stupid is because they did the dance battle at the beginning of the movie, right? David Banner betting on dance battles.
Hold on. What?
Yes.
Why?
Matter of fact, the shit with that didn't make sense. He
They
did
never
it.
been remotely associated with this.
He betted on the dude the main character was battling against. David Banner betted on him. His dude won, but yet he told the main character he owes him money. Like what the fuck kind of sense does that make?
You don't even know this dude until he owe you.
You owe me money because you lost, even though I put my money on my dude. Like, then when he showed up at the frat house, you tell me how that really goes if, say, 6 dudes walk into a frat house and they don't have no guns.
In real life, they got
They got fucked up by a frat. Instead of the frat getting fucked up by them, even though they clearly outnumbered David Banner, but they still lost.
He was scared.
Oh, buddy got his fucking leg and shit broke by David Banner.
So he was a gang, I guess like a loan shark or gangster.
He did that shit like showed up.
He screamed and then he like spoke from his leg.
Nobody ever did that. Cause Show Up broke old dude's ankle about 10 times before he bit that hole. He's all. Who bites a nigga ankle in a fight? I've never heard of it, bro.
That shit, that one, and then the fuck, when they did a sequel to Drumline, that also did.
Nah, I don't remember
That shit was terrible.
I only watched it when it first came out. And
I'm
it was
also good with it.
horrible.
I don't
That's-
remember.
This while back, that shit was terrible.
Because the main female, she played Aaliyah in that movie.
That shit was terrible.
She cannot act to save her fucking
Like
life.
certain characters you just don't need to be having played. Like
What?
I scrolled past the Netflix one where that Whitney one. Nigga, I looked at it and said, I know that shit.
Shit, I watched that one though. That shit was kind of
It was kind of good. It was kind of
She don't, I know you can't have it look
She
like.
don't look
her,
like Whitney,
and-
but
and not even
She looked more like that Brandon.
Yeah, she really
like
does look like
Brandon.
Brandon.
I know
But
she can't look like her, but she don't look shit like her.
she played the hell out of that character.
She
She,
played-
she did a good job with the
So
character.
it might be worth it.
We was talking about that yesterday
She sing.
because we talking about old buddy. I was terrible casting him playing Bobby Brown, and then he overdid the accent again.
I'm telling you, man, as much as I like Wu Tang and I watch that show, his damn voice just, that shit be pissing me off, man. Cause the RZA don't talk like that at all.
Shit, they fucked up. They fucked up Biggie.
RZA talked like he tried to eat Jello and drink Kool-Aid at the same time.
Julie. You say Kello? Oh, damn, man.
That's what he sounds like. It's like
That shit sounds like it tear your stomach up though, man. And that nigga walk you, so you gotta pull the shell and the fucking cup of who no,
you know.
no.
See, that made me, because talking about RZA, that made me think about another movie I feel like is low-key overrated. American Gangster.
You can't really,
I like American Gangster. I don't know why.
you know, so when he fuck up Idris Elba,
I think it's because it's Denzel. It's because it's
It's a
Denzel.
Denzel movie, but it's not factual because like if you
Man,
I mean, a lot of things you
No,
can't say about that though.
but the thing is, a lot of the people that was out there back then when drug dealers and stuff was going around New York, a lot of them don't even know who the fuck Frank Lucas was.
Because he was low key. He wasn't like how
It wasn't because he was low key. It's the fact that even if he was, they would still know him. Nobody even know him. A lot of people said they don't remember hearing about him at all.
Well, the people that was around, like the people that had on the movie, they knew him.
Yeah, Nicky Barnes. And all
Yeah,
that.
they knew him. And people,
And
everybody
those
knew
are
Nicky
good
Barnes.
enough too though.
Yeah, Nicky Barnes, Rat.
I mean, a lot of them.
All of them were. That
All of
back
them,
then.
not all
A
of them.
lot of
Nicky
them.
Barnes was probably the biggest one. Frank Lucas was a rat too.
Exactly.
A lot of people try to overlook that.
I don't see him when
When he told on cops, he told on criminals
He
too.
told them criminals too.
Oh, he did?
That's why they didn't want to put that in. They didn't push that part in the movie, but he told them.
Yeah, the movie they put him telling on cops and shit.
I mean, you can kind of tell where he was going with that.
Still, it's
That
just-
boy got to start writing that shit down.
No, when that cup was.
And she flew on the dude.
Yes.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
I know that shit burned.
That wasn't supposed to happen. He talking about the coffee scene though.
Oh, I'm talking
He
about the
the
people
other
knocked all
scene.
that shit over. Oh.
He slapped the ice and water and then flew on his brother and shit. That was not supposed to be in the movie. They just left it in there. That shit. I'm trying to think of what else.
I couldn't take the boy Victor Sweet serious in the movie either. I forgot his name in that. I forgot his name in the movie, but you know what I'm talking about.
He was Huey on there with Victor Sweets. Getting his ass whooped by Mark Wahlberg. Come on, man. Like that right there. That's something else too.
Four Brothers was, like, it was cool.
man.
I'm not gonna put it as like no great or nothing, but it.
Because that's fucking Tyrese. He was basically Jody on that movie. He's Jody on fucking everything. He has no range as an actor.
Because he Joey.
I'm just saying.
Hey, now that you think about it, like
He Joey on Fast and Furious too.
It's certain actors I don't understand why they get jobs. Him, Derek Luke,
no, Derek Luke said he could cry. He could cry. He could dramatic cry.
he's fucking movie miles on everything.
The
Clifton Powell, he's been on a million movies, but ever since he did Pinky, he's been Pinky on every other movie after that. At some point in time, he
Wait, when he in
Oh.
yes.
When he in Ray Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
turned the Pinky on.
He did turn the Pinky on that. He got on Ray ass in that office.
I don't know what Ray got on that nigga that didn't pay him, and he jumped. How did he know
Yeah,
exactly
how
what it
did-
was?
how did he know what he was
talking
talking
about? Captain Yin. That nigga Spider.
He just jumped straight to it. Like, nah, man.
And you can see, we watch movies and we catch every little thing. You probably don't even remember this.
Speaking of blind people, They need to go ahead and make a biopic of, I'm gonna say Steve Harvey. Stevie Wonder.
Steve Harvey, like,
Well, shit, that is something they need to do.
Yep. And then like when it's the older Stevie Wonder,
he was saying,
to make sure his hair, make sure his dreadlock braid shit's starting back in
he
his
told Jerry Rice when he was in Oakland. The boy had them dreadlocks on the back.
That's fucked up, dog.
So he did. Go.
I forgot about that shit.
That shit was fucking disgusting.
Stevie Wonder not blind.
Man, I heard about that, but at the same time, man,
He's
how can you
blind.
fake it
He's
for?
blind.
How can you fake it for 6
He's not completely blind.
I think he is.
He can see some shit.
He was running routes and shit one day.
Man,
See, you taking it too far. I thought you were gonna say something reasonable, but he told running routes. Fuck no.
Even when Shaq said that he got in the elevator, he walked in and said, "What's up, Big Shaq?" Big Diesel or something like that. And Shaq said he didn't say nothing on purpose. And he said, "What's up to Shaq?" How the fuck do you know that was Shaq in there?
he felt the
Somebody made it.
side.
Hey, they said when you lose certain senses, you do pick up your other ones, though.
How would he, what kind of senses would help him identify that Shaq?
You can probably feel the elevator moving. The
Yeah.
motherfucker 12 feet tall.
Man,
I mean, you can feel it. Come on now. Shaq walk up next to you.
Maybe that signature Shaq
when
cologne.
they talking about,
First of all, Shaq got a cologne.
I don't think
He
so.
probably
But
do.
when they talking about Steve, I'm finna keep calling him Steve Harvey. When they talking about Stevie Wonder driving cars and flying planes and shit,
Yeah,
you tell me,
You hear about that shit?
yes,
No, I don't even want to hear no conversation.
No, I did hear about the shit about him flying a plane.
yes.
Nigga win.
I forgot when they said that.
I
I
heard
think
that.
Anthony Anderson was the one that told that story about him flying a plane.
Look at him. Anthony Anderson look like he was lying.
To my basketball players with cologne, I know Michael Jordan, his shit smell like hot dog water.
No, no, it don't.
That,
Hey, they got that shit in, was it Burns on my body shit? You see that? We
It's
gonna
still
review
there.
it. We gonna review it over here.
that shit came out when we was kids, and
That's
I
what I'm
remember
saying.
smelling it, and it smelled like hot dog water. That shit is funky. I can see why. Never mind.
It's just like basketballs and shit.
Nah, man. That,
What
the
the
hell?
hell?
I don't know. Yeah, that. You talking about? Man, make me forget what the hell I was saying.
It's about Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, Stevie
Nah,
Wonder.
he gonna say that shit again.
Who else needs a biopic?
They ain't been no talk to Stevie either. That's when I would have thought came out.
Because I know how Hollywood is. They gonna wait until he passed away to try to do
They
it.
just do it.
Just so they can know, because they know they can make a fucked up movie.
Why they
and
do it?
have no complaints about it.
Why they do it like Ray though? Because Jamie was side by side with Ray from
Yeah.
You can do it like that. And then
Oh.
have them actually teach the actor how to actually play it. Make sure you can make this shit happen.
It's gonna be tough to find somebody to play him anyway.
Yeah, the mannerisms and everything.
It's gonna probably be a new actor. Cause you mean shit.
That's gonna be tough.
I'm not gonna play
It's
right.
gonna be
Ain't gonna be anybody we know.
it's gonna be Franklin.
Hell no.
First of all, no. You gonna have the Jimmy Butler dreads?
Jimmy Butler.
Wear his dreads for what? I don't know how many games. Next thing you know, he back in the headband and a fucking fade.
Cause that shit is fucking
But
stupid.
it wasn't even like reasonable though. His dread was longer than mine. I'm like, alright, so you just put 10 years of hair in your head in 2 days?
Kids. Oh
The way,
man.
the way he said chocolate, though, you could tell it was like melted chocolate.
You can tell it was melted chocolate.
Cause the way he said it,
Man.
it's kind of like when you watch Thin Line and the way Smitty was saying chocolate, you could tell he was talking about like Hershey Kisses.
Oh, put the chocolate back in the chocolate city.
Tell you, man, this is
Oh,
they need to remake that movie too.
With New Jack City? I mean,
Thin Line.
oh, I was talking about New Jack City though. I would see remaking that shit.
They
They might mess it
leave
up.
that.
They would mess it up pretty badly
Because
too.
who gonna play Wesley?
Shit, Franklin Saint.
Yeah, you get Frank Saint to play Lito Brown,
Nah, damn, man, that's a nigga little crazy, bro.
the baby.
Fuck that.
Somebody was Lito Brown.
You can't do that. No, which one was that one where the boy Lawrence Fishburne ran that nigga over?
Oh, man.
That was,
I was thinking about this shit the other day.
Was that deep cover?
When they bust out screaming, what?
And the
The
girl-
nigga that got ran over didn't make no sound, but he bust out screaming like he got hit. And then you could tell the body was super fit for that bitch.
Exactly. I was just about to say, I remember that shit was a dummy like a motherfucker. It's like fucking when dude from Full Force pissing on a nigga's shoes in their bathroom.
No, that was a nigga from Full Force. That was some Jamaican dude.
He started smiling and shit, so he. That nigga pissed off on his fucking shoes and shit. They just sat there. That shit, motherfucking. What other movie should they fucking make a redo? Well, I mean, do a remake, like remake. Oh, 'cause we was talking about how he did Bel Air, right?
Yeah.
We said, what if they did Martin?
Dark Martin. So
They
Tommy
shouldn't
Lee on
even
that.
have done
No, because he was saying that Tommy would actually be a drug dealer.
He kill niggas and
Yeah,
shit.
like Hitman type shit.
That would have been, nah.
That should be
Yeah,
funny, man.
to make it overly dramatic, because they did too much on Bel Air.
They should have done, that's, again, we going back to stuff that should have left alone. Leave Bel Air alone, leave Martin alone.
Bel Air was good though.
Bel Air was good. It's just that
But he got kind of dramatic on this season.
But that's not a dramatic. I mean, I knew they weren't aiming to make it exactly like it, but I think they went too far with it.
Yeah, Carlton fucking doing cocaine and
They
shit.
had, because they were basically making it like the episode where he did that, whatever fucking
They
did.
took-
When
they
he was
took-
over there doing spin kicks and shit on the table.
somebody posted a meme saying when Uncle Phil turned his life around, went to law school, became a lawyer, and they had the
I read that
picture.
shit.
They had the side by side. They had a picture of him from like Mike 2 and shit.
Wait, that nigga look like Mike too?
I don't remember that.
He should be Lawrence Fishburne. I mean,
What?
That's too complete.
Lawrence Fishburne.
No,
Lawrence Fishburne.
no, it's like Mike. Damn, like Mike 2 was like a street ball shit. He was like on the street.
Oh, he played basketball in
Yes, it was like a fake hand. Yes, it was like a fake
hand.
hand. Then they had like little twisted shit and everything.
Oh man.
Oh,
It was like a fake and one tour type of thing they did.
I
on
need,
like
I need
Mike
a
2.
clip of that.
Oh, Anthony Mackie. Nigga. What movie was that? Which
Crossover. That right there was another. That
That
was
shit was
terrible.
terrible, man.
How you get these hot? You get these great. Well, I ain't gonna say great actors because Anthony Mackie is a good actor.
Wayne
Wayne
Brady.
Brady is not, and then Wesley Johnson is not. He plays fucking sweetness of everything.
Sweetness.
Even though he played other roles way before that, having fucking
City guys.
ponytails and shit on Moesha. We talking about that too.
Shit, on Rick Campbell.
Sitcoms and shit.
No, for real. So when he came in and destroyed that door.
We talking sitcoms and shit. I said that the most annoying sitcom
Oh,
character
shit.
of all time.
Come on, Ray. You
was
see this
Moesha.
now. He do this all the time.
Yeah. But
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ray Campbell.
dog.
Bro, he didn't be doing that shit on purpose, can't be listening to nothing, because his phone facing down, he looking this way.
He could
See, that's
have
the,
easily walked to the
Yeah.
other door.
he seen
He
it,
saw it,
he
right?
seen the camera, bro.
And we want to get on
How,
camera.
how is he looking at something, beating his phone facing this way, he looking over here.
At first I
And
didn't
you
see
kill
him.
me with, no, he killed me with the intro, because nigga walked in on me and shit.
I didn't see him at first. I thought you were talking about Black Sam while he was walking the dog. That's what I thought you were talking about. Ray
Man,
Campbell.
oh,
I can't even see them.
dude, that nigga did not look like a fucking Black Sam, bro. No, not at all. No. Oh,
He's trying to act like he on the phone. This nigga's not talking to nobody.
That nigga outside trying to deport this shit.
Still, man. Man, what else was it, bro? That I was gonna talk about, man. Okay. What is considered? Because this is off topic. This wasn't on the sheet, nothing like that. Do you consider flirting as a form of cheating?
Like if you purposely flirt?
Just say,
But I mean, at least you can't flirt on accident.
no, I'm just saying, for instance, you with your significant other, right? And there's a dude that they know, like either back in the day or from the job or something like that, and they are like constantly giving them compliments, they like flirting with them, but instead of your significant other being just kind of like brushing off, they kind of go along with it type shit. Do you feel like that's disrespectful? Do you also feel like if they doing it when you're not around, is that considered cheating?
Disrespectful, yeah, but
It's just, I don't
I don't, yeah.
Now, if if they're purposely going out there with for somebody, then yeah, that's different. But if you like, if it turns into like a flirtatious moment and it wasn't intentional, then nah. You know, that should be, you might be sitting there chilling, somebody be, like you pick up on them kind of flirting with you, and you don't realize it and shit.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it ain't you doing it, you know, so.
Another thing that was brought up, because ran into somebody from Moves to Go, right? And they brought up a story from back like when I first started there, right? Just say a man gives you a compliment, do you consider that sus?
It depends on what kind of compliment it is.
And tone, like it's
Like, more than just tell you straight you look good, that's,
but like if it comes off as man, that's a clean outfit or something like that. It's kind of left at that, then that's cool.
This dude.
Now if we start getting into details and shit, then that's too much.
He was a truck driver, right? We was unloading his truck, and he came over there and talking to me, and he said, "Wow, man, you have some pretty eyes."
Hey, that shit
See,
right
that's
there,
different,
bro.
right?
That's nope.
Cause he's looking all your eyes and shit.
You know, it's because
Then he
they.
called him pretty. He
It's
said,
because
"These nice eyes,
people
though."
people be messing with me about my eyelashes because they long and shit. So he was looking at that. To me, has anybody ever told you you got some pretty eyes? I was like,
Well,
I said, I told you, I said, I need you to get back in your truck, man. I don't play all that.
That's past us. Like I said, if it's like a basic fancy like shoes, or you know where you get that, and that's it right there. That's all you need to do. You don't need to go into no damn.
Because I remember my boy Larry, when we was unloading the truck. You remember where A-Bay was?
Yeah.
Like, we was on the dock right beside A-Bay, unloading the mattress truck. And Larry, he came running to the truck. He's like, "Hey, man, your cousin out there talking to a bad bitch, bad light skin bitch with long hair." I said, "Who the fuck are you talking about?" He said, "Man, your cousin in the dark when he talking to this bad light skinned bitch." I walked out the truck. He was talking to Leland. I was like, "Man, come on." I said, "Hey, man, you need to go drink some water or something. You obviously can't fucking, you dehydrated. You're not thinking straight. You're not seeing straight. Because how the fuck do you think Leland is a I'm like, no, man." So yeah, it was situations like that where stuff happened.
Come on,
saying
he couldn't see, dog.
Man, this is the dock. This is A-Bay. Leland and Papa was right here. The truck is right here. Literally, probably maybe 20 feet more.
You see his mustache?
But Leland didn't even have long ass dreads back then. His dreads was probably about right here to the middle of his neck. So it's just the fact that like how
Man.
No.
it's
What
stuff
you really
like
couldn't
that.
see, or you just couldn't.
Nah, man, it was a lot of stuff going on. People saying some weird shit, man. And it's just like, hey, it was somebody at the job I'm at now. When I was telling him about the situation I was dealing with, and he said, "You must have one magical penis if she's acting like that."
Nah, that shit.
Yes, I'm like, why? I'm looking at him like, man, why would you say some shit like that?
I remember what you talking about too.
I was like, man, come on, dude. Like, you could have worded it differently or something.
He probably smirked the laugh when he said it.
No, he was dead serious. Like, he had a serious look on his face. I just looked at him like, man, I'm like, why would you say that shit, man?
There's no way I could have took him serious from that point on.
Nah, he says a lot of stuff that makes you like scratch your head a little bit. And little boy Scotty, he knew the same thing. He said a lot of stuff that's like left field.
He was talking reckless.
He talking about breaking headboards and shit like that. Like, come on, man. There's some funny people out there, man.
Oh, yeah,
I'll say that much. But yeah, we're gonna put our brains together and come up with something further down the line, stuff like that. But once again, we do encourage y'all. We watch the videos, comment, let us know what y'all think. Give us y'all input, y'all thoughts on some of these topics. Also, share the videos, recommend it to your friends and stuff like that. Help the channel grow, help the viewership grow. Because the bigger we get, the more we can do. We can start going to different locations. We can start doing events and stuff like that. we still want to get to a point where we bring on guests.
Yeah.
So we do appreciate everybody who shows us love, watch the videos, like the videos, stuff like that. But you know, let's try to do a little bit more. We're gonna come out with a little bit more content. We're gonna start being a little more frequent with it. But we do need that positive or also negative feedback from everybody. Let us know what we need to work on, what y'all like, stuff like that. Any ideas y'all got, feel free. I mean, we pretty open-minded, we pretty understanding. So whatever y'all got to say, go ahead and do that. Y'all got anything?
Good.
No, but like you were saying, any feedback is definitely appreciated because it'll definitely help us grow and we'll be able to offer a different variety of topics and just more good stuff for everybody, content, keep that going. Maybe even a live session one day.
Yeah, we can definitely do that one day.
That way we get either call in to do video. It's as we grow, y'all will grow with us, so we definitely appreciate any of that commentary and all that.
I know we say this frequently. We always be doing more than just the sit and discuss. We are going to be doing vlogs a little bit more and stuff like that. Other type of things, gun range and stuff like that. Fitness. Might be doing some car stuff. I mean, just different variety of things. Try to expand it, reach different people and stuff like that. But we do need everyone's help and support with us getting out to a broader audience.
Yeah.
So, like I said, make sure y'all sharing. Let people know, come check the videos out, check out the Instagram, check out the TikToks. The link tree is on our group page on IG, Club 36 Podcast, to where you can follow our individual pages. You can also follow our podcast pages too. So, we will definitely be working on stuff like that, getting bigger, getting better. We still learning, still trying to grow. So, like I said, we appreciate everybody, man. But that's it for this episode. I'm Quinn.
Drew. Twan.
We out.
Till next time.